Right now at 6, the man charged with the death of Madeline Kingsbury is trying to move his trial to a different county.
And an increase in anxiety and depression among teens.
You're watching WKBT La Crosse. This is News 8 Now at 6.
Good evening, everyone, and thanks for joining us for News 8 Now at 6. I'm Ken Kozarowski.
And I'm Emily Brown. The man accused of killing a Winona mother last March is trying to move his case out of the county. Adam Fravel is charged with multiple counts related to the death of Madeline Kingsbury. Fravel's lawyers recently filed motions with the Winona County Court to move his trial outside of Winona County and to dismiss the first-degree murder with a premeditation charge. They claim Fravel won't get a fair trial in Winona County because of the case's extensive media coverage and the large number of community members who engaged in search efforts for Kingsbury. In the effort to dismiss one of Fravel's charges, the motion cites a lack of sufficient evidence. The evidence submitted to the grand jury to indict Fravel was not enough to prove the alleged murder was premeditated. These motions will be addressed in March.
A new report says there's an increasing number of teens suffering from a mental health crisis and attempting suicide here in the Badger State.
News 8 Now's Michael Germain spoke with health officials on what is causing the increase. Good evening, Michael.
Ken and Emily, Gunderson and Mayo Clinic officials tell me that cases of anxiety, depression, and suicide are increasing in teens throughout Wisconsin due to the amount of time they are spending on social media. According to the Office of Children's Mental Health, a new report focused on data ranging from 2021 to 2022 found that the amount of students who reported feeling, quote, sad and hopeless every day has increased over 10% within the last decade. Out of Wisconsin high school students, 22% reported they want to self-harm themselves. Gunderson health officials say social media can make it hard for teenagers to embrace what is going on around them.
So maybe you had a hard day at work, but now you go home and you have access to social media for the rest of the evening, and there isn't that ability to sort of disconnect from what's happening.
Officials also add if parents can help their children treat anxiety or depression during childhood, providers will be able to prevent bigger problems happening as they become adults. Now, if you or someone you know is suffering from depression or having suicidal thoughts, you need to call the Suicide Crisis Hotline. Now, that number is 988. And you can also speak with your kids if they feel they might be suffering and make them aware school counselors are available. Ken and Emily.
All right, Michael, thank you.
Today, La Crosse police had their ABLE training. ABLE is an acronym for Active Bystander for Law Enforcement. The purpose of ABLE is to provide tools and resources for officers to check in on each other and make sure their peers are okay. We spoke with Captain Dan Close, who said the training isn't only for police.
It's all inclusive, right? It also deals with their personal relationships, their interpersonal relationships within the PD and the community, and it really helps them look for clues and triggers and things that they may find in their partner, where they may want to have a conversation to check in on them to see that they're okay.
All La Crosse police officers had 8 hours of ABLE training today and will have a 2-hour refresher course yearly.
Yeah, the dreary, foggy conditions continue for another day, and we actually have more precipitation coming in for your Thursday in the form of mainly rain, but maybe some wintry mix. Right now outside, still mid-30s. Our temperatures really have not changed, and early we're kind of sitting in the low to mid-30s overall with cloud cover. Dense fog, we don't have any advisories out there unless you go to southeast Wisconsin, but we might see more of this tonight as dense fog could develop. We'll see if it becomes widespread or not. That's something to keep. There's a special weather statement that's out further to the northeast of the area. That is for fog up towards east of Ladysmith. That could also involve some light freezing precipitation too. Overall visibility is generally around 5 miles or above, so there's some haze. A little bit worse you go towards Mason City or as you see southeast Wisconsin too, where they're seeing more of that dense fog. Temperatures were hovering in the mid-30s, a little bit of precipitation through southern Wisconsin. We had a little bit of that mist or drizzle through Eau Claire up to Ladysmith. Otherwise, you might see a little bit of mist out there that the radar's not going to pick up through this evening. Big picture shows that batch of precipitation pushing to the east, but there's a one from the south that's just coming up to Missouri. That's the one that's going to bring additional round for tomorrow. But this evening, just cloudy conditions, some mist or drizzle, some fog out there too. Conditions pretty much around the mid-30s for both locations. once again with a light south wind. Overall, we'll expect more of that fog to come up, but for tomorrow, you definitely probably need the rain gear, maybe the sloppy boots, the wet boots on there, because it's going to get messy again as we're going to melt more snow. But we do have a case for some wintry mix. Now, time out if we got any road impacts with that, and when we'll see the sun again, finally.
Yeah, you got to be careful out there. I almost slipped walking very slowly. It's getting slushy out.
It is.
That will be a problem in the coming days with the water on top of snow, too.
Right. All right. Thank you, Greg.
Well, Governor Evers is touring the state with a new message that 2024 will be the year of the worker. Evers' first stop today was UW-Eau Claire, along with DHS Secretary Kirsten Johnson. They spoke on several accomplishments the state made in advancing health care, like making Plan B free for people on Medicaid. Evers this year is calling for more funding for Badger Care and wants to see progress on child care, where he's once again calling a shortage of quality child care a state workforce issue.
If people want to work and they have kids, they need child care. And whatever we can do to amplify that, frankly, help the system, the child care system survive during this time, that's critical, because if we don't step up the plate on child care, we will have people leaving the workforce.
Evers has previously called for programs to provide state funding to child care providers. The Republicans have disagreed with that kind of legislation. Evers today also making stops in Wausau and Green Bay.
The Lincoln Middle School building is off the market. The La Crosse School District making the sale announcement earlier this morning. The building has been sold to Commonwealth Development Corporation of America and the Wisconsin Partnership for Housing Development for just over $2 million. According to a release, the companies plan to turn the building into affordable housing. The school district superintendents say they took what the community wanted to use the building for into account when looking at the sale proposal.
When we went through our community outreach in the area and we identified the priorities that our neighborhoods had in that area, Commonwealth came up with a great proposal that really met the needs of what we were hearing from our community.
Now, one of those priorities was preserving the building's historical elements. The district plans on closing the sale with Commonwealth in June of 2025.
Today, the Radisson Center hosted the 37th annual Iverson Frecking Ecumenical Award banquet. The award recognizes people who foster and promote ecumenical endeavors, as well as people who reflect a positive commitment to the Cooley region community. The recognition award, sponsored by Bethany St. Joseph Corporation, and is named in honor of the late Carl Iverson and the late Bishop Frederick Frecking. We spoke with the 2024 honorees who told us how they make the community a better place.
We're just seeing where there's a need to do something and to respond to the needs, I think, is an important piece for us to remember.
And to date, 84 Iverson Frecking Ecumenical Awards have been presented.
Boeing temporarily shuts down a factory.
This after growing safety concerns about the door blowout incident and another plane losing a wheel before takeoff.
When the insurance company sees Bygolf and Rohde on the other side, they know they're in for a fight. It's your life, but it's our fight. And they know that if they're not being fair with us, they will find themselves in court, and that's how Bygolf and Rohde gets results for its clients.
Transform the look of your kitchen with big savings from Menards. Countertops are the center of a home, and Menards carries a great selection, from elegant to everyday options. And with easy installation that you can do yourself, with durability that will last you from crayons to calculus. Transform everyday spaces into gathering places with custom craft countertops. Now at Menards, laminate countertop is on sale, starting at just $7.49 per square foot.
Save big money at Menards.
Honey, where are the kids?
I put them in the furnace so I could figure out why we don't have any heat.
You did what?
Maybe it's that loose wire.
Maybe it's that plug vent.
Maybe it's the bad igniter.
Maybe it's a dirty flame sensor.
Or maybe...
Why don't we just call G&T Heating and Air Conditioning?
Quality you can count on, experience you can trust.
With over 50 years of combined experience, G&T services residential and commercial customers within 50 miles of West Salem.
Planning a home renovation? Save money on demolition and disposal fees by contacting Habitat for Humanity's Reclaim Program. Habitat will remove your cabinets, flooring, windows, appliances, and more for free. Habitat Habitat sells reclaimed material at the ReStore rather than sending it to a landfill. To schedule your free reclaim service, go to habitatlacrosse.org/reclaim.
If you've been in a serious accident, you need a serious legal team. By Goff and Rohde is the Western Wisconsin powerhouse. Attorneys who won't settle for less than you deserve. Call By Goff and Rohde.
Boeing's safety record is under an increasingly hotter spotlight. The company's CEO is on Capitol Hill today amid rising concerns about the troubled 737 MAX 9 jet, just weeks after a door plug blew off an Alaska Airlines flight midair.
Laura Aguirre has more on the Hill meeting and why Boeing will temporarily shut down one of its plants Thursday.
Flight 1282 should never have happened. Boeing is better than this.
The CEO of Alaska Airlines taking Boeing to task as his grounded fleet of 737 MAX 9 jets undergo inspection following that terrifying in-flight blowout earlier this month.
We found some loose bolts on many of our MAX 9s. So those, yeah. So those are things that are going to be rectified through the inspection process.
Boeing CEO Dave Calhoun is on Capitol Hill Wednesday, called to a closed-door meeting with lawmakers who will likely press him for answers into the Alaska Air incident and for assurances that airlines and the flying public can trust Boeing's product.
I think that this hearing will illuminate what some of those challenges have been and how we can fix them and fix them quickly.
While Calhoun meets with congressional leaders, federal aviation investigators are scrutinizing Boeing's entire production process.
It really takes us to production, manufacturing, maintenance, those types of issues, and ensuring that the pieces are where they need to be and all the bolts are in place.
Federal inspectors are on site at Boeing's plant in Renton, Washington, where the 737 MAX 9s are made. Company execs plan to pause production at that facility Thursday to focus on quality control. While at an NTSB lab in D.C., the search for answers into the Alaska Airlines door plug failure continues.
You want to make sure we are getting the right answers to get to the right solutions. That's why it takes time.
I'm Laura Aguirre reporting.
Adding to Boeing's headaches, a Delta Airlines Boeing 737 headed to Bogota, Colombia from Atlanta lost a nose wheel prior to takeoff on Saturday. That's according to the airline and the FAA.
Passengers were able to safely deplane and were bussed back to the terminal. According to federal officials, in a statement, Delta Airlines apologized to customers for any inconvenience. No injuries were reported, and the cause of the nose wheel failure is under investigation.
Still ahead, privacy concerns.
The Biden administration is passing an executive order to keep these things private in just a few minutes.
And we're definitely looking for a wet morning commute for Thursday, and even the evening commute could be affected with rain, maybe snow, maybe even a little wintry mix. I'll time all that and what you'll expect with road impacts and what Friday and the weekend looks like and when we'll see that sun again. All that coming up on your First Warn Weather Update after the break.
Right now at Homeworld Rugs, get something for nothing. Pay nothing for sales tax and pay nothing down with interest-free financing on the area's best in-stock selection of rugs. The Something for Nothing sale right now at Homeworld Rugs.
Garbage day!
Here you go.
Russell! I swear I've been seeing you everywhere.
I've been busy.
Earn now, spend later during Blaine's Farm and Fleet's Rewards Members Dollar Days. Now through the end of January, Rewards members earn $10 in Blaine's Bucks for every $100 spent in store to redeem later just like cash. Start earning now on new resealable deluxe mixed nuts or whole cashews, $17.99. Rewards members save an extra $2. And 20-pound bags of Blaine's brand Easy Scoop Cat Litter, 2 for $14. Earn Blaine's Bucks now to spend later during Blaine's Farm and Fleet's Rewards Members Dollar Days.
Spectrum Mobile brings you our best deal to start the new year. Now you can get unlimited mobile for $15 per line. Switch to Spectrum Mobile Unlimited for just $15 per line with no added taxes or hidden fees and no contracts. Save over $1,400 for the first year. Call 855-231-7007. Spectrum Mobile includes nationwide 5G and the fastest wireless speeds with unlimited talk, text, and data. Switch to Spectrum Mobile Unlimited for just $15 per line. Call 855-231-7007 or visit a Spectrum store near you.
Right now at Home Sleep Express, when you spend $4.99 or more, pay nothing down, nothing for interest, nothing for sales tax, and nothing for shipping on brands like Luxuria and Thomas Cole Sleep. The Something for Nothing sale, now at Home Sleep Express.
Thank you for watching News 8 Now. Expect more.
In today's society, folks have growing concerns about protecting their personal data.
And the Biden administration is working on an executive order that focuses on just that.
The draft text of the order says foreign attempts to take information about Americans represents a, quote, unusual and extraordinary threat to national security. Numerous sources say the directive may be finalized and issued within a few weeks. It calls for U.S. officials to place new restrictions on personal data that is often acquired legally online.
This order is expected to cover health records, genetic information, as well as cell phone tracking data. There is growing concern that such private information could be used against both government employees and private citizens.
Temperatures keep getting warmer in the region. Snow keeps melting. Conditions get a little messy at times when you're trying to walk down a street.
It's getting drizzly out there,
a little
foggy,
bit of everything
a lot
kind
of
in
stuff.
the mix. Yeah, let's get the latest from Chief Meteorologist Greg Barnhart.
Yeah, pretty much. We got about another 36, maybe 48 hours, and then the weather's going to be fairly quiet, but we do have some messy weather coming up that could impact your travel through about tomorrow night. For tonight, there still could be some areas of fog, maybe some mist out there too. Still a really small chance, but some wintry mix possible north and northeast of Eau Claire where the temperature is going to fall down a little bit more. South of La Crosse, we'll start seeing that wintry mix or eventually light rain begin to approach the area probably after about 4 a.m. It will impact the morning commute. It should be wet for most areas south of La Crosse, but there still could be some pockets, especially valleys, where you do fall close to 32 for some wintry mix, but it should quickly turn to light rain. Around noon, everyone should be around light rain, and then there could be a transition back to snow, sleet on the backside, and then ending at night. Once again, not a lot expected with snow or sleet accumulation in the area. This batch of moisture is pushing east. The one that's going to impact us is well to the south yet, but it'll begin to lift north overnight. So that's the one that we're tracking that'll bring the light rain. As you see right here, about 2:34, you're starting to see some of that spread northward. Light rain, light drizzle. There is a little bit of pockets of pink in there. Some of these locations, especially lower valleys, could maybe sit at 32, 33. So you could see a little bit of freezing drizzle initially. Won't last that long. Areas up to the north of Eau Claire probably dry, but once again, you could see some pockets of little freezing mist along with the fog. Then as we get towards 8 or 9, all the areas south of Eau Claire should pretty much are now light rain. Occasionally up to the north of that, still could be a little bit of mix probably till about 10, 11. And then as we get towards noon, everyone's pretty much at or above freezing or the mid-30s, if or not higher. That's why we'll continue to see that light rain through the afternoon hours. And then on the backside, eventually towards the afternoon, we'll probably start seeing some of the cooler air begin to push south. So Ladysmith and those areas could see a transition to some light snow. Areas west of Preston to Austin will probably start seeing a little bit of that change over. And then we'll go toward the evening. Eventually, towards midnight, we'll start seeing some of that tail off for La Crosse and Eau Claire. Could be a little bit of light snow before it does finish. As you notice, the temperatures really don't fall much below close to freezing. So if we do get the snow of the locations of I mentioned, probably roads will still remain wet because we won't see a lot, and these temperatures are not really going to fall. There's really no cold air too much behind this system as we go into Friday. Fog definitely will continue to be a problem through Friday as we go through there. Otherwise, we looked at the ice amounts, just a little bit of pocket up there northeast of Ladysmith. We could see pockets of it overall, but once again, very light. It won't last long, but still something to keep in mind if you're traveling out there. Snow, this is really for tomorrow evening through Friday morning. It's just a pocket northeast of Clare stretching across northeast Wisconsin, and then a little bit to the west where they might change over a little bit early before it does turn. Road temperature should be fine here, so mainly wet conditions, even if we do get the snow. Big picture come this week and beyond is that ridge out to the west, all these warm colors, warm air all the way up into Canada, eventually will push eastward. So we are going to warm up next week, potentially reaching, could be 50 at some point. But for tonight, around freezing, light precipitation starts pushing up to the south towards morning. We'll see that fog and potential light rain, light wintry mix as we start off tomorrow. Everyone should turn to rain eventually towards that. And then towards the evening, we'll transition back Thursday night. Friday looks just cloudy, and I said floggy. I meant fog and cloudy. That's a new term. Otherwise, we go through the rest of the week. The sun does poke up next week, and hopefully we could get up to mid-40s. We could be even higher than that, depending on what pans out. But it's definitely a very warm stretch coming up all the way to probably, could be even Groundhog's Day. We could be hitting 50. So we'll see what goes on there. But next 24 hours, just pay attention to the roads. It will be wet. It will be messy out there. But we will see improvement toward the weekend.
All right. Thank you, Greg. Coming up next in sports, the Twins have one of their all-time greats heading to Cooperstown. Plus, just a day after firing first-year head coach Adrian Griffin, Bucks have already found their replacement. Rob's got it next.
The Board Store Home Improvements. Everyday low prices on bathroom remodels for seniors and families. Contact us today for a prompt free estimate.
We've done many renovations. We bought an old house and have made it into an up-to-date house. Whenever anything involves plumbing, the first call I make is to Maxwell White. Their technicians put together a great final product.
Are record energy costs putting a squeeze on your fixed or limited incomes? With inflation rising at record levels and incomes not keeping pace, you might be one of tens of thousands of Wisconsin residents who are struggling to survive in the blistering heat of summer or the bitter cold of winter. While you haven't asked for it, the Keep Wisconsin Warm Cool Fund and your local energy assistance providers are here to help. No Wisconsin resident should ever have to face the challenge of living without heat or power or face homelessness. For a hand up, apply today and call 1-800-506-5596. That's 800-506-5596. Or visit www.kwwf.org.
It's happening this weekend. The King Furniture 72-hour mattress sale with incredible deals on the most comfortable mattresses. Take 10% off every mattress in our store. Plus, get 12 months interest-free financing. Get your choice of a plush or firm Therapeutic Hybrid Queen mattress for just $9.99 and get free delivery too. The King Furniture 72-hour mattress sale this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday only.
Whether it's a bathroom remodel or comprehensive plumbing services, we at Maxwell White strive to keep our neighbors safe and comfortable in their homes, offering honest, upfront pricing on every service, all backed by a 100% satisfaction guarantee. Call Maxwell White today.
Here's News 8 Now's Rob Schiff.
On the same day the Bucks decided to move on from first-year head coach Adrian Griffin, reports started to circulate on social media last night that Milwaukee had already found Griffin's replacement. Fast forward to today, those reports becoming official. Doc Rivers is set to take over the reins in Milwaukee as the next head coach of the Bucks. Rivers was currently working for ESPN as an analyst, and after 3 consecutive trips to the Eastern Conference semifinals as head coach of the 76ers. Both sides reportedly negotiated deep into Tuesday night. Then they reached a deal this morning. That's when the announcement was made. Rivers did have 16 straight winning seasons since winning the NBA title with Boston back in 2008. His 1,097 victories is 9th all-time in NBA history. When it comes to the Bucks this year, Rivers now has the responsibility to tighten up that defense. Milwaukee was 4th last year overall. This year, completely different story. Bucks are 22nd in defensive efficiency. On the gridiron, despite a big-time turnaround by the Packers the past few weeks that got Green Bay all the way to the divisional round of the playoffs, defensive coordinator Joe Barry will not be a part of the green and gold staff moving forward. After 3 seasons in Green Bay, the Packers deciding to move on from Barry, and the team's results on the field for a majority of this season are a big reason why. Green Bay finished with the 5th worst rush defense in the league, along with the 2nd fewest interceptions in the NFL. On the diamond, one of the all-time greats in Minnesota Twins history is heading to Cooperstown. St. Paul's own Joe Mauer played 15 seasons for his hometown squad, 3 batting titles, an MVP, 6 All-Star appearances, 5 Silver Slugger awards, and 3 Gold Gloves later, Mauer is elected to the Hall of Fame in his first year on the ballot. He becomes just the 3rd catcher in MLB history to make the Hall on his first year of eligibility. Ivan Rodriguez and Johnny Bench, the other 2. Baseball season's right around the corner. Milwaukee making a move as the Brewers add a big bat to their lineup. Former Phillies slugger Rhys Hoskins agreeing to a 2-year, $34 million deal with the Crew. Hoskins has played all 6 seasons in Philadelphia. He did miss the entire 2023 season with a torn ACL. Hoskins does turn 31 in March, but from 2018 to 2022, he was one of the best power hitters in the game. He's got 148 homers so far in his 6-year career. He had 30 back in 2022. That was his last full season before he missed 2023. But he could have been eligible to return to the Phillies if they had gone to the World Series. So he's healthy, and maybe he'll be back to that power form.
Stunned that they made a splash like this. Absolutely stunned.
It's a big-time bat.
Absolutely.
I mean, and that's the kind of move that they usually make. Some that doesn't sound too kind of overwhelming at first, but I mean, he could have some good results.
It could definitely pay off.
Big
Thanks,
time.
Rob.
All right, we'll be right back after this.
What you see is important. That makes quality eye care important too. Get personalized care from experienced optometrists at Shopko Optical. Better eye care. You'll see. Don't need glasses? See us for your contacts and save on your annual supply.
The most important value of our law firm is our commitment to our clients.
The best part about dealing with Schwebel, Getz, and Sievent was how much they took off my plate. My mind was at ease. They just wanted me to heal. The staff and my attorney were wonderful. I highly recommend Schwebel, Getz, and Sievent for any personal injury, and I always refer my friends. They're the best.
Go to Schwebel.com and fill out a free online case evaluation. There is no fee unless we win.
Save big on your entire kitchen upgrade at Menards. Clearview Cabinetry is flexible by design, so you can go from doors to drawers for storage that works at every stage. And the style is so easy to update. You can do it in a snap, meaning you don't have to remodel your space to make it work even better. Right now, save on these Stoughton kitchen cabinets. Pick them up for only $3,249. Save big on Clearview Cabinetry now at Menards.
Save big money at Menards. Your eyewear should be as individual as you. With Shopko Optical's extensive selection of frames and lenses, our optometrists will learn about you and help you customize the right choice for your lifestyle. Visit Shopko Optical and find your new signature style today.
Good point.
All right, Thursday's morning's commute. We still got that rain. Potentially a little bit of freezing rain, but definitely the fog out there for the evening one. Light rain that could transition maybe to a little bit of light snow. Otherwise, the fog continues. Sun comes out hopefully by Sunday or Monday, and temperatures are going to be on the way up next week. 40s, maybe even 50.
Like the sound of that. All right, thanks for joining us at 6.